Hi, I'm Kevin,
I'm Heather.
and we've got a little project today that we got to take care of. Usually it's you watching Heather cook and do really fun things like that, but today we got to work on the RV. The door that's right behind Heather is coming apart, and so I'm going to see if I can even remotely put this thing back together and build a new frame for it. So we're going to take you along with us, and if I fail, I fail. If I succeed, I succeed. You'll get to see the whole thing. The supervisors are here to make sure I'm doing everything right. But check out this door. It is obviously coming apart, and we need to reset it. It's got some rotten wood. If you look deep in there, you can see how gross that wood is. A lot of water's leaked in. This is an old trailer, and this is my experiment. But we're gonna take these hinges off, and then we're gonna take this, lay it down in the garage, and start taking it apart piece by piece. With any luck, I'll be able to put something back together that resembles this door. That came off pretty easy. We'll take this in the garage and see if we can't take it apart. I'm good at the taking apart stuff. I'm not so great at putting it back together, so. There's no screws on this side, so I think I'm pretty much focused on this side. We're gonna take the handle off first, and then we're gonna get all these little screws off to expose whatever's inside. So we've got screws pretty much all along here and all along here. I'm gonna buzz those out real quick. But that one's beginning to give a little bit. Oh, I heard something crack. That can't be good. This stuff is attached pretty good to the wood with glue. Oh, that came right off. That's gross. That came right off. That's what I was hoping for. And the bottom of that is just, ow, fell on my toe. That's what I was hoping for. Look at that.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Look at that. That's been holding water for, well, since 81, I guess, is how old our trailer is.
Yeah.
So that's gonna go bye-bye. We won't use that for anything. And then it looks like the rest of this is gonna come apart pretty easily. So it's got some sort of mastic on the back, but this is what we're trying to replace right here. I'm actually not going to use these kind of boards, the 1x1s. I'm going to end up using 2x4s, which means I can cut this down and make the door a little stronger. So the goal is to not break this and find a place to lay it flat so that we can reuse it. What I'm thinking about doing is this. I can take a knife and I can trim this back so it'll fit a 2x4 here, and that'll give us a stronger door than we had before. Now, the question is, can my carpentry skills do that? Stay tuned. This board is thicker than the boards that are on there rotting away. So I have to take this board and I have to take it and slim it down on the table saw by about that much. About a blade's width. So we're gonna do that. Oh, that's very close. It's not perfect, but it's very close. All right, so I think we've got the width. And I think we've got everything put together here so we can just begin piecing this together. But what I want to do first is make sure I have everything lined up so I can cut this styrofoam that's in here. So I'm going to line these up first, get them on clamps. So I've got my pencil line and I've got it here, and now I'm just going to cut it. All right, so we got all of the styrofoam. See that styrofoam? All that is off that needed to be. And play swords with it later. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start piecing back together the frame. We're gonna take off this old one. Let's see if we can do this. And line it up with the bottom. We're gonna have to figure out something to glue with. I don't want to destroy this yet in case I need it for later. Let's see if that comes off all right. Get those lined up. Back on. This clamps will help me visualize it a little better on the top here. So we're going to try some pocket screws on this. Well, it's the next day, and we have the frame made, and now we're gonna see if we can't get this thing straight a little bit, and I'm gonna clamp down this end because we're gonna spray adhesive on the other end. So as I'm looking down, I'm trying to get it as close to the edge as I can. Then we're just gonna clamp them down and do some of the gluing on the other side. So we're taking this break so you can watch Heather plant some of our tomatoes. Now she's planting them early, and she's gonna try to put this tent over it. This is just a test to see if that will keep the weather out so we can have a little longer growing period.
We planted cucumber seeds in here. We started them in here. Usually
have they budded yet?
Not yet, but my onions have. Right
Yep.
there. And you come over here. Right here is a little potato sprout. Right there. So my
Nice.
potatoes are in this bed here. But little tiny green sprout.
Sweet. So we've got the workers doing all the hard, heavy lifting, and then we have on-site management.
So with tomato plants, you plant them sideways. So we take off these bottom leaves because it makes them a lot sturdier. So we'll take these off, and then when you plant them, you put them kind of in like that. We're doing the square foot method, so if you see my little, where's my little template here?
Yeah.
This will tell you, I got this, and it'll tell you how many of what seeds to plant in a square foot. So like the red is like your carrots, your radishes, lettuce, things like that. Yellow is like your onions. The blue are your beans. And then that orange one is things like tomatoes, cucumbers, things like that. Peppers. Where only one plant goes in one square foot. Yeah. So we've got, these are our Roma tomatoes, and Max is going to water them really well until like the water kind of comes out the bottom. But the reason they're different sizes is so that I don't have my entire crop coming in all at one time. It can come in kind of staggered, and that way it makes it a lot easier if I'm going to can stuff to have it where I'm not canning like 100 pounds of tomatoes all in one day. So we're going to water this really well and see how these do before I plant the rest of them. But we're going to put this back over it. So what I've got going on here is I've got this open. It's a warmer day today. It's a little windy. Some of my plants already have blossoms on them. So I'm going to leave it open during the day so that the wind and the pollinators can get in. And then at night, we'll close it up so that it stays warm, because sometimes our temperatures do drop kind of low here. So that's what we're going to do with this. And then as they get bigger, we're going to get stakes to put on them so that they'll grow up, and then by that time we won't need this anymore. So the greenhouse tent will go away once we put stakes on them.
I bet you're wondering what I'm doing underneath here. I'm spraying that onto it so it can stick. It is not as it's sticky, but it's maybe not as sticky as I'd like it to be. So I'm putting a little extra on. It seems to help it. It looks like it's back together, doesn't it? Be impressed, although it didn't go back together exactly the way that I'm not going to cut a hole in it like that. I'm going to leave that alone for the time being. I've got a different plan for how the door is going to stay closed, and we'll show you that. But next is hanging this bad boy on its hinges. And oh, what pain and excitement that'll be. All right, so here we go. Put a second one in there. Nice. So the door's put back together and it's back on. It's not exactly perfect. There's some things that aren't done yet, like the doorknob's not put on, and I got to figure out how we're going to open and close it and keep it closed and get the latch done. But that was a challenge. It was a good challenge. I learned a lot, and I can't thank you guys enough for joining us. Stay tuned. We've got other things coming up, but we learn a lot on this channel, and we hope that you'll learn with us. Heather's Garden is just getting started, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. Check us out on Patreon for some other things that we don't put out on Facebook necessarily or on YouTube. But guys, we can't thank you enough for watching our videos. We're so grateful. Hope you guys enjoyed what we did this time around, and we hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.